Finally, we have received one of the most anticipated bikes of this year coming from KTM. Let me show you. We're building it right now.
KTM has been developing new bikes more frequently than Sony has been releasing cameras every year. Okay, that is an exaggeration maybe, but not by much. And KTM has not been holding back. They are going all out in every category. They got a new 390 Duke, they got a new 1390 Super Duke, which nobody asked for but everybody wants to buy, and now we have the new 990 Duke that also everybody wants to buy. First, let's do the numbers. It's a brand new 947cc parallel twin liquid-cooled 8 valves per engine. Hence, the name LC8, giving out 121 bhp at 9000 rpm and 103 Nm of torque at 8000 rpm. Dry weight 179 kilos, 395 pounds. Fuel tank capacity 14.8 liters or 3.9 gallons, giving you a range of 270 kilometers or 170 miles. Depending on your riding style, of course. It is a 6-speed transmission mated to a mechanically operated anti-hopping clutch. Let's do the basics. First, it is supposed to replace the outgoing 890 Duke, but in looks, it resembles the 1390 Duke more than the bike it replaces. I would not call this a middleweight anymore than I would call an MT-09 from Yamaha middleweight motorcycle. The KTM is pushing the limits. It's closer to a liter class more than anything else. First, let us talk about the looks. I know that looks are subjective, but then I really like the looks of this motorcycle. But then that's just me. There are a lot of people who do not like those looks. Look at those headlights. I have seen mixed reactions on those lights. You either love it or hate it. There are folks who just hate those lights. I simply love those headlights. In fact, the whole new look of the bike is pretty radical and futuristic. That is how KTM design philosophy has been of late. Some folks think that this is a bored out 890cc Duke. That is actually not the case. This is a brand new engine which has been designed from ground up. The pistons, crank, cam timing, exhaust are all new. The 947cc new engine looks very different even externally compared to the 890cc. The engine gives a very broad spectrum of torque delivery, and that makes this bike a lot of fun on the streets, as well as great exit speeds at the apex if you're looking to take this bike to track. Yes, this bike, like its predecessor, is really good on track. The nearly 60cc increase in engine capacity gives you a bump of 2 brake horsepower, which is not much, it might seem, but the 4 Nm of torque makes a difference in your grunt and acceleration. And the torque delivery is less snatchy than the previous iteration. In fact, it has gotten smoother over the years, starting from the 790, and gives you a cleaner, more linear response to your throttle and the ease of making your way out of the apex of a corner at a faster pace. That torque curve gives the rider more options of being both sharp and lazy if you want to. It is designed to do exceptionally well on track. That is where the new frame and the new WP Apex suspension comes into play. It is a fully adjustable front and rear suspension, with the front forks having your typical KTM independent function, rebound on one side and compression on the other. What they have massively changed in the 990 is the number of clicks to adjust your settings. Gone are the 30 clicks. Now you have just 5 clicks. So basically with just one click you can get sufficient feedback, and evidently it's easier to adjust. This is good for both the front forks and the rear shock. The suspension is stellar to say the least. KTM is known for that. Whether you're riding around town, commuting, or taking the highway and going on track, if you can dial the suspension in, you're going to love it. The frame and suspension do an amazing job of keeping the bike planted on tarmac. Let me show you how I sit on the bike. I'm 165 centimeters tall or 5 feet 6 inches. The way I sit on the bike is better than when I sat on the 890 Duke. I eased into the seat, which is nice and plush with a high friction surface making me stick to it. Seat height is 32.4 inches or 825 millimeters, which is easily manageable for my height, I feel, regardless of experience. I can reach the ground on both sides, but that should not really be a concern if you're an experienced rider. Disclaimer, this is a bike for an experienced rider. The riding posture is pretty similar to the 890 Duke, and I can ride all day on the highway if I can ignore the vibes at higher speeds on the highway, which I can. And you get the adjustable handlebar for more comfort or for more feedback depending on how you adjust it. A word of caution though, if you're planning to do long distance highway riding, it may not be for everyone. The 990 Duke comes with new switchgear and surprise, cruise control in America. What is even more surprising is that you have the cruise control hardware. It is standard fitment, but it does not work till you buy the software enhancement. The new switchgear is a good toy to play with and toggle through the multitude of options that you have, especially when you get the tech pack. That brings me to the part which I do not like about the 990 and KTMs in general, and that is, to unleash full capabilities of the bike, you have to keep paying to add on all options, like the tech pack, which gives you the quick shifter, track mode, telemetry, and so on. Most bikes at this price point come with standard quick shifter and various levels of modes and power and various levels of traction control and various levels of ABS control and so on. Whereas on the KTM bikes, you have to buy all those goodies as software enhancements. In the standard version, you just get the rain, street, and sport modes. If you buy the tech pack, you can unleash performance and track modes to make the bike a beast. But if you do not buy the software enhancements, you do not even get cruise control even though the hardware is there. That's really weird. The brakes are pretty good. Radially mounted calipers on 300mm discs, not 320mm mind you, like on all 1000cc bikes. Even the Kawasaki ZX6R comes with 310mm discs. You get radially mounted master cylinder as well. The effort to give good feedback for the brakes is there. It'll keep most track enthusiasts happy unless you want to go serious racing with this bike. Priced at $12,500, I feel that it's a correct price, though I would have preferred it maybe $1,000 lower than that, simply because you would need that extra $1,000 to upgrade the software enhancements with the tech pack. What does it compare with? The most direct comparison that I can think of is the Yamaha MT-09, and that is a great bike. But with this iteration, I'm not sure if the MT-09 is still ahead. And I have yet to check out the MT-09 SP version, the new one, 2024. If you like naked bikes, this bike is very strong and will put a big smile on your face, especially if you are an experienced rider. You can throw a leg on it and this bike is capable of setting the town on fire. Do I recommend the bike? Absolutely. The way KTM has evolved over the past 4 years from the 790 Duke to the 990 Duke is absolutely phenomenal, and each bike has been superb in its category.
I don't know about you guys, but I would buy this bike in a heartbeat, the Duke 990. Incredible motorcycle. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Until then, enjoy the bike and ride safe.